Hi collective, welcome to my channel. We're going to see what the collective energy is and what needs to be brought forth here in the energy. Please just keep in mind that this is a collective reading, so it is not a personal. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. As far as the structure of this reading, we are going to get first impression cards. First impression is the energy, just first impression. So what is it that we're going to be talking about? And then we'll dive a little bit deeper and get more information with clarifiers. Okay, if you do like this channel or like the way that I read and you feel connected to this collective that I read for, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that way you don't miss when I post again. All right, let's get into it. At the back of the deck here, we have popcorn, okay? Popcorn talks about a show, you know, whether it's mystery, drama, romance, all right? So what we're going to be talking about, it could be any of those different things we're going to see. So let's just jump right in. So we're starting here with Rebel. Okay, Uranus energy, you could be an Aquarius, but you don't have to be. We have Mars coming out. We have the Warrior coming out. Jupiter energy. Then we have here the Cake energy. Neptune, Pisces. Back of the deck here, we have alignment, okay? So opening energy here with the Rebel coming out first, I am seeing here that I am talking to an energy here where we are dealing with non-conformity. We're dealing with people who are non-conventional in some kind of way, stubborn even. Okay, stubborn energy here. Really dance to the beat of their own drum energy. And this is coming out next to Mars. Mars energy is Aries and Scorpio, but it is also masculine. So this could be talking about masculines who seem to be very, I don't want to say unforgiving, but there's an energy here where they're different in some kind of way, very stubborn. There is this challenging energy here coming up with the masculines here. It seems like with the Warrior energy coming out, this is someone who has their guard up. Their heart is guarded, okay? Very guarded. They could be wounded in some kind of way. And so they could be hard to connect to in the heart space because they have so many guards up. They have been hurt here, okay? Masculine energy has been hurt here is what is showing up. Now, you could be in a masculine energy, or the person that you're dealing with is in a masculine energy, okay? But with the cake coming out, this talks about a completion, a cycle ending. Okay, so it seems like the masculines here who have gone through a lot are finally coming to a place of a cycle ending with their guardedness, with their heart being so guarded. They're coming into alignment here. Okay, they're coming into alignment here. Let's clarify a little bit and then we'll dive a little bit deeper. Why is Rebel here? Rebel is here with healing. Okay, Rebel is here with healing. Back of the deck here is Child. So this is Uranus and Neptune here. This is Neptune energy. Neptune energy is here as well. So it seems like they have been going through their life. Masculine energy has been going through their life kind of being a rebel, and they want to heal this energy. They no longer want to be this stubborn. They want to heal their stubbornness here, okay? And this could have definitely to do with your connection or with connections in general. They want to look at life with fresh eyes here, with the Child energy coming out. This is Leo energy, Sun energy. Why is Mars here? Cherries. Again, Leo energy, Sun energy. Back of the deck here, we have friendship. Masculines, this energy here seems to be healing when it comes down to connections with other people. It seems like this is a masculine collective. Mars and the Sun, this is a masculine collective here who went into relationships looking for satisfaction, okay? And it was almost hard for me to get that out. So it seems like they were really trying to find healing through some kind of sensual pleasure here and really not conforming to societal standards, keeping things at a friendship level here, okay? Looking for self-satisfaction. And they winded up getting hurt here. Okay, they winded up getting hurt here with the Warrior. Why is the Warrior here? Subconscious. Okay, so this subconscious energy does talk about unresolved traumas, hidden desires, depths, introspection, insight, confronting the fears and the truth. Okay, Pluto energy. So this is Jupiter and Pluto. They're learning here a valuable lesson. Okay, they might have, went around in connections with fears and unresolved traumas. The reason why they were looking for, self-satisfaction, not conforming here to wanting to be in a monogamous or a committed relationship and winded up getting hurt. Why do they get hurt here is because they actually want love here, okay? They actually want connection. They actually want to be in a committed relationship here. And the reason why they went through this is because of their unresolved traumas. Maybe they went into connections before and they were very open, and they winded up getting hurt. And through that, they carried this weight, okay? They carried this weight of this unresolved trauma, for being open in connection and then went around only wanting to be, in friendship connection. They want something more deeper than that. And that is actually their hidden desire. That is the reason why the cycle is closing at this time, is because they are willing here now, with the goat energy coming out at the bottom of the deck, Saturn energy is basically saying that they're overcoming this obstacle here. As we see, it says overcoming obstacles, sacrifice. They're willing to sacrifice this kind of lifestyle that they were living before, and wanting to really move on here with this cycle ending. Let's see why the cake is here. Cake is here with alien. So alien talks about an authentic expression. It talks about being, yourself, eccentric. Okay, so this Uranus energy, where we started out from, is ending the reading, this part of the reading here. Okay, where we're seeing a person here really, a masculine energy here is really accepting the truth of who they are, the truth of them wanting to be in a committed monogamous relationship. Okay, they're showing their real authentic expression. They're coming home to themselves. They're no longer saying that a friendship level is something that they're willing to accept. They're saying that they want to be more than friends. They want a committed relationship in some kind of way. They want to overcome their trauma and accept also the trauma that they have been through. This cycle with this energy of this collective of masculine is ending. Okay, here at the bottom of the deck here, we have the sleep mask here. Okay, sleep mask is Neptune energy. So you could be dealing with a Pisces. For some of you guys, you don't have to be. You can actually be a Pisces or a Aquarius here. Okay, because those two energies are showing up strong here, but you don't have to be any of those signs. This is where the energy is pulling from. So it's pulling from the sleep mask here. They're having a lot of dreams, things that are happening here in the subconscious that is forcing them to face their fears. Okay, face the fact of how they have been treating others, whether this is you in connection or people that they just come into connection with. They're really having a lot of emotions when it comes to this. Yeah. Okay, here we have Mercury coming out. So they're being communicated to during their dream space. Okay, during their subconscious. Okay, because we do have subconscious mind here. They're trying to heal here this warrior energy, where they feel like they have to constantly have their guard up or fight, or argue, be argumentative. Okay, if you're in connection here with this energy, they're saying that they're ending that. They no longer want to do that. Okay, they're accepting their real authentic expression in who they are. Okay, this looks really good. Let's get a little bit deeper here. All right, so tell us more for this collective. We have here the open shell, Venus energy. We have here the goat, Saturn energy. We have here the lantern, Mercury energy. We have here the test, Saturn energy. Okay. Back of the deck here, we have the Pawn. Mars energy. So before we get a little bit more information, let's actually just talk about what we have here on the table first. So it does look like I said in the beginning, okay, there's something here about their guard being up. It seems like they're wanting to release that guard. The open shell talks about being open, being very calm and receptive, being open, okay? This is a big deal here. Being open with their emotions, being open about love, being pure, being gentle. They're working really hard at this, at overcoming the obstacle here. It seems like with the Lantern energy, they're soul searching here. They're searching within themselves to really test this out again, to really overcome the challenges here. Saturn energy is here twice. So this does seem like this is really hard energy for them to face and also be tested. Can they actually, be open, be this open person again? Can they accept love into their life? Can they be open to love into their life? They're really trying to heal here and make certain choices that facilitate growth, okay? They're willing to sacrifice here when it comes to the relationship that they want. It seems like here with the shadow coming out here as well, they have been facing their shadow. They have been facing the things, like I said, this is really hard energy, Saturn energy, Capricorn energy. Okay, you could be a Capricorn or dealing with a Capricorn, but you don't have to be, okay? Saturn talks about growing up, being an adult, and it seems like they're still young here with the Pawn energy. They can act immature, and they want to come out of this energy. This is someone who learned this at a very young age, okay? Learn to close off or to be closed off in some kind of way at a very young age. So now they're being tested. Now they're being tested, okay? Especially if they're in a relationship with you or in a connection with you, this relationship is testing them. Or if they want a relationship with you, it's going to test them to open this up anyway, to be open. Can you be open? Can you be vulnerable? Can you face and overcome the challenges that, plagued you when you were younger here? That's this energy. We have here the Ravens, Pluto energy, Scorpio, the Student, Mercury energy, again. The Student and the test coming out, I mean, what more can I say, right? They're being tested on this. They're trying to learn. We have the Atom energy, Uranus, Aquarius energy. Mars energy. At at the back of the deck here, we do have the caterpillar. So this is where the energy is pulling from, the grounded energy here. It's pulling from the caterpillar. This is the beginning of change, okay, for a masculine collective. This is the beginning of change. They're ready to approach this energy with tenacity, with patience, with persistence, with resilience here, with the caterpillar energy, Pluto energy. Okay, Pluto energy is being reflected here twice. Okay, so in this energy, what I'm seeing here, okay, they are really being guided to open up here. They really are. They're being guided to open up, to come back into emotional balance, to grow up. Okay, I am seeing that energy here as well, to grow up in a certain way. Okay, it seems like they're still trying to learn how to overcome the obstacles. They are possibly, you know, reading or gaining information, looking certain things up, getting a mentor, getting a teacher, getting a counselor. They're trying to really develop here in the brain, in the mind here. Mercury energy is out here twice. They're trying to develop, you know, self-love and searching for themselves, especially here in the mind. And they're doing this alone, okay? They want to do this alone. They don't want any help here when it comes to them having to heal, okay? No one gets the help that you have to get in order to heal yourself, to love yourself. You have to accept, like, okay, I have to love myself. Now, people can talk to you and try to teach you their ways, their methods, but ultimately it's up to you. And this is a test coming out for the masculines here, okay, with this energy. They want to feel with this atom, they want to feel a sense of connectedness and interconnectedness. They want to feel connected again. They have been feeling really disconnected. Okay, this energy, they have been feeling really disconnected, and so they want to come back to being connected, and they're really persistent about this energy. I feel like also they're finding a new way to communicate. Okay, they're finding a way to communicate here. They are taking the initiative here, and they're willing to be tested. Okay, they're willing to be tested as far as what is it that they learned? How is it that they have overcome the obstacles? Okay, let's clarify. Why is open shell here? We have chemistry, Mars energy. In order for them to be in connection, they have to open up. They have to be vulnerable. They want to come to you in a way where they're meeting you where you are, and also being able to connect on a deeper level. They have a desire for you. They have a desire to be really involved and connected and romanticize your guys' relationships. I feel like they have you have an allure, and they are very willing here to make changes here. Okay, at the back of the deck, this energy is pulling from Cupid. So they're very like tender about you, okay, and about connection. Why is the goat here? And again, we see this Mars energy being reflected here, okay? We see this Mars energy being reflected, wanting to have this chemistry. And again, willing to test it. Why is the goat here? Child. This is Leo energy, sun energy. Okay, willing to, again, the obstacle seems to be looking at their relationship with fresh eyes, healing the things that need to be healed when it comes to past relationships or past connections here, having overcoming the obstacle of just seeing, you know, connection with fresh eyes, with innocence. Okay? Not naivety, but just with innocence. Trusting here. Okay? They might have a trust issue problem. Why is the Lantern here? Dad. Okay, father energy, Saturn energy. It seems like they have to do some healing when it comes to a father wound, possibly. Okay. Um, yeah. I feel like also they're really trying to take responsibility here for their actions. Okay, for how it is that they showed up in a relationship. I feel like this is the Lantern does talk about healing, self-love here, meditation. They're meditating on being more responsible, finding healing in being a leader and not so much of a follower. They're really being tested here. Lots of Saturn. This brown energy is Saturn energy. So they are really being tested here. Back of the deck here, we have Uranus. Okay, this energy is being pulled from Uranus. So this is like, again, they could have had a rebellion. They could have had a rebellion to their dad or to a father figure, or to a leader, or to a authority figure. Okay, and now they're wanting to step into an authority figure role, and that same energy is basically circling back. Okay, where, well, now you want to be a leader. Well, what about the people who led you into just like being a good person, having some kind of leadership mentality or quality here, authority here? I feel like they were really rebellious. Okay, they were really rebellious towards convention, like what is conventionally right. And for dads, for fathers, for a true archetype of a dad or a father, they have a certain way about themselves, and they won't take any crap. They're not going to take any crap because they have so much responsibility. They have a certain structure. Okay, so they're learning here how to step into this role and how to look at things in a fresh perspective, especially if you guys have children, or especially if they want to have children. If you want to have children, they can't be rebellious like that anymore. Why is the test here? They have to be obedient to a certain structure of how the masculine role is and not be immature, basically. Step into the role. Too many. DNA, Uranus energy. So again, they're being tested on a very like DNA with the test. This is testing who they are as a person. Okay? Testing is coming out twice here. The test and testing is on this as well. So they're testing, can they even show up as this individual? Do they have what it takes to be a leader, to be an authority figure, to run a household, to step up for you if you have children, if you guys have children or want children? They're being tested. Do you have what it takes? Strong energy here. Because they feel so connected to you, or they want to feel connected to something. They want to feel connected. They don't want to feel out of place. Masculines are being tested. That's what this energy is. Why is the Raven here? fun, Leo energy. They don't want things to be too serious, right? And I think that's the reason why that they tested, convention so much, authority so much. They want to have fun still. They want to experience life still and not be so rigid. And so they're trying to find some kind of balance here when it comes to that. And it seems like they're confused if they can still have fun while being in a relationship. Now, fun to everyone is not the same. Like they might want to they might want to party or still go out or still experience life. And they might feel like being in a conventional, relationship or status, takes the fun away. Or if they grew up a certain way, it's like they didn't get to have as much fun because of an authority figure was always over them. Okay. But I am seeing here with this energy, the raven being clarified by the fun. This is Scorpio, this is Pluto and Sun. Okay, you could be dealing with this with a Scorpio or a Leo. But I feel like they still want to have fun here. Yeah. It's like they don't know if they can still have friends, go out, experience life in a certain way. Here with this the cloud energy. They don't know if that's possible. You know what I mean? They have to find someone who's equally yoked for this. That's what I will say. To still go out, have fun, go to parties, still have friends around. They don't want to just be stuck and stagnant. Okay? They don't want that. So they're testing to see if they even have it in them to show up in a, relationship or a marriage in the way that would work for all parties involved, right? Why is the student here? The magic wand. Okay. More Mercury energy. Gemini, Virgo. So they're manifesting you. They're manifesting wanting a connection with you, manifesting learning more about you, manifesting, what it is that it will take in order for them to get you, and also for them to still have fun. Like that's a big deal. Like they don't want you to also feel like they're just controlling everything in your life. Okay? They don't want you to feel like that. Yeah, they want this relationship. Venus energy is here. Okay? Venus. This talks about love and relationship harmony. Okay? It seems like they're willing to go through the test of time here, especially here with the tree as well. This talks about long-term committed, rooted energy, longevity, generations to come, generations of love to come. And they know that this takes time here with the clock. So, and also Saturn energy. They are really being tested. There's a whole lot of Saturn energy on this table. So I can't lie and say like, they don't know they're being tested to see if they have it in them to show up in this way. And I feel like they do. They have it in them to show up in this way, but it's going to take time. It's not going to be overnight. And they want you to still have fun in your life and also have fun with them. They want to feel connected. Okay, let's go to the atom. Shadow. Okay. So this is Capricorn energy. This is shadow energy is equivalent to devil energy, okay, in traditional tarot. All right. This is shadow energy. Shadow talks about restriction, seduction, obsession, addiction, fear, lack of self-control, self-indulgence, deception, okay, self-limiting beliefs. They feel like every time they got into a connection with other people, it's always been some kind of restriction. There's always been something above them or over them here. Again, an authority figure. that has restricted them from feeling a sense of connectedness that they want to feel. I feel like they want to get deeper in connection, and they want to have a really deep connection, and they just don't know, you know, how to go about that because they haven't seen a relationship in their reality or in their existence be able to still have some kind of fun, without being completely restricted. And so, what they're looking for is a sense of community or connectedness where they can feel connected and still be free, still be able to do what it is that they want to do. They don't want to feel restricted, tied down in some kind of way. Like, of course, they could want to be married or want to be a dad or want to be a husband. However, they don't want to feel the sense of like, I can't do anything else but that. They don't want to feel that way. I do also feel here that they feel a strong, like there's a strong pull towards you, and they're trying not to let their obsessive behaviors with you like destroy the relationship. They don't want to manifest something that's going to be toxic. So let's see here. We're ending here with Mars. So let's see where they're going with this. This is an action energy. The action here with this Mars energy is also being reflected here in the chemistry. They want to be equally connected to you, okay? In all ways, like not just one way. They want to be connected to you in all ways. So they want you to know about their shadow. They're manifesting here with the magic wand, their shadow. They're manifesting this and they're trying to heal it because they want you to know, like, I have things still that I need to work on. And I guess, are you willing to accept certain parts that I have to still work on? That's what's being tested here. Okay. It's like the fundamentals of who they are with the DNA. So let's see where they're going with this. And if you do like my style of reading and you want to see more content from me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Why is Mars here? You have the ghost energy, spirit guide energy. Okay, so they are actually being divinely guided here on where it is that they're supposed to be going with this connection. They're not gonna tell me here, especially this is Neptune energy, and I don't think I have any other Neptune here on the board. I do not. This is Neptune, this color here is Neptune. So they are trying to integrate something here that they have been guided. They've been being guided. So wherever they're being guided to, they're trying to go there, okay? And at the bottom of the deck here, just to give you a hint, they do want longevity here. Okay, let's get the last three cards here. Okay, yeah. So this basically sums it up. Okay, we have the doves here, we have the abyss, and we also have the tree. Let me turn it over for you to see. So with this energy that is showing up here, okay, with this energy, they want something long-term. Doves mate for life. Okay, this is a mate for life. This talks about love and devotion, fidelity, long-term commitment energy. Okay, being pure of heart, having good intentions. With the abyss, this is coming out of a very dark place. Okay, so they're trying to really find a purity in like of the darkness that they have. Okay, so everybody has that contrast, that light and dark energy, and this is what's showing up here as well. Light and dark energy, and they're trying to come out of that in order to have long committed tree energy. This is long-term committed energy, unmovable. They want it to be stable and they want it to stay. Okay, so they're being guided for long-term commitment energy, to have generations of wealth, to have a generation of longevity, of commitment, of love for a long time here. They don't want to have, partners here who are just for fun or surface level or just friends and nothing more than that. This energy is very, very telling that they want something that is going to be long-term and committed. They don't want you to just be their friend. Okay, that's where they're being guided to. They want something real, something solid, something true, long-term. And back deck, they're coming in, the Knight energy. That's what they want. They're being guided. They might pray. They might pray and have their angels or their guides, their spirit guides, really connected to them and around them. Okay, because they're also trying to help them heal this energy, so that way they can have a family lineage. All right. So that's the message. And again, if you guys did like this style of reading and you guys would like to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye guys.